Okay, guys, so we're gonna do our final run with this Iron Hands team. Then we're gonna transition tomorrow to Intellion Team Builder, and then Intellion Live for the next 3 days. Yeah, so that would be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday we'll either do a new team builder, but probably we'll see, for a couple reasons. But yeah, Iron Hands team. Iron Hands, it's really what it is. I'm discovering with is just difficult to find the right set. Not difficult because it's actually difficult, but because I'm not getting enough play time with the actual team, and because of my lack of knowledge. I don't know the metagame well enough. Like, I'm still fucking, every vibe is like, Jesus, what the hell was that? And so because of that, I'm not doing Iron Hands enough justice. But as we play and get back into the swing of things, as I mentioned, I'll be locking back into Mons. I haven't been doing so the past 3 months or so with other projects. I've played on when I'm recording, but I haven't really, you know, practiced or done anything of that nature for a long time. So even as I'm looking at this team preview, I have to break it down very simply in order to process it. When you're in tune, it's like boom, boom, boom. Right, so let's break it down like what I'm talking about. So Iron Hands, what does it do here for me? It only beats this and maybe help me take a hit from this, but beyond that, it's not that great. Particularly because I switched it to Thunder Punch. Pulse with the Terra Fairy can be very good. Not even necessarily with the Terra Fairy, but you know, that's an option. So upon Swords Dancing, King's Gambit technically could beat every member on his team. It's never that simple, obviously. Rotom helps guard against 1, 2, somewhat this, depending on the set. Corviknight, Spun Iron Defensing helps with 1, 2, potentially this, potentially this, potentially even this, because I can Terra Water. It depends on whether or not it's Terra Lich Terrors. Great Tusk, upon clicking Close Combat. And also another thing I'm realizing is that I don't have a lot of counterplay for opposing Great Tusk, which I don't like, because they never lose their leftovers, and CC's just not doing enough. So what I'll end up doing, phase 1 is going to involve Lerotom. I wasn't too scared of Haxorus or scared of Haxorus whatsoever, primarily because I have a Fizz-Def Iron Defense Corviknight, which is probably the best counter to Haxorus in the game. I mean, you could argue Skarmory. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Terra Blast. Unfortunately, I do not have the U-turn, so we're just gonna Brave Bird here for some damage on whatever the fuck comes in. I don't trust this guy enough, plus I don't have any points. I have fucking 1747. How disgusting. As I said, I don't trust this guy enough. He Earthquaked a Corviknight to make any sort of doubles. What I'm gonna do right now is treat myself like a motherfucking beginner, in the sense I don't have the knowledge, and if I don't have the knowledge, I can't do anything else. Like, there's nothing to be done. I'm just gonna Brave Bird here. Sure, I it's probably best to be at complete full rather than 71%, but there's no relevant calc that I'm aware of. Cause I'd still be not at full. I just wouldn't be this low, right? So I'd assume the water stab comes out, but even if it doesn't, reverse Spadef Rotom, I stab. And it's okay. So from a speed tier standpoint, we're always going to Volt Switch here. One, you know, he's a dragon type that can come in on this. But from a speed tier standpoint, we can pivot into Dragapult if he does switch moves up, right? So as I said, speed tier wise, it's very little drawback. He could go Valiant. I'm going to sub first. It does strike me as the type to go hard Valiant here. Even though if I shot a ball, he'd die. Well, you saw leftovers, so he doesn't. I just needed to scout what kind of player he is. So we see the darts, which is blessed. I mean, no, we don't see the darts. We see him staying, which is blessed. Which I was gonna say removes that first dart didn't do that much. It's kind of like weak. But you know, I'm not max attack or anything. So now we have to assess. All right, what if we remove? We remove Haxorus. We remove Greninja. You know, who does that help? It helps Gambit to an extent, especially if this is Scarf. You know, that will open up Terrifying. But the question now is, okay, how do we intend to win this game, right? Because this could be Scarf and this could kill me, right? Is that something that I am willing to risk? What are my alternatives? Let's say I go directly into Great Tusk here and he wasn't Scarf. You know, what is there really to lose on that, right? What am I going to... Is there anything truly to fear? If he's Bulk Up and I go to my Tusk, yes. If I Will-O-Wisp... This is what I'm talking about, where it's like, I'm not even sure what the fuck to expect from here on out. If my Iron Hands was Drain Punch, I'd feel comfortable letting that Hydreigon roam. But I'm not. Oh, Tusk is really good. Do I want to lose my item though? I'm trying to think if there's something I'm missing. So with Wispy, I didn't think he was Scarf. Okay, so bro's really lost his mind out here. We're gonna Hex his burnt, so he won't knock us out. I don't understand what's happening because he's 1650, so I know he's not completely new, but you know, you can understand why I may be a bit confused, right? Because you know, some of my viewers, actually, funnily enough, a guy I'm training right now, you know, he got up to one of his goals when we started the boot camp was to get to the Scarf. If it's Scarf, I'd be okay with that. I'd be cool to see that Dragon Pulse. Watch me Terra here, and let me see, Valiant. This is the only thing I needed left for. Actually, wasn't sure if that would one shot based on how much. And from 90, yeah. But you see, you did 50, so it was barely a one shot. So Sarilege is in. We don't want to have this weakness armor kick off. Yeah, like I truly think this guy's trying to lose. There's no way you get to see either that or he's playing on his little brother's account. I mean, his little brother is playing on his account. Like, there's just no way. I refuse to believe it. Refuse to believe it. As Valiant's gonna come in and booster. Yep, we're just gonna hex to a KO. And it allows for me to tear on the out chance he does some boosting. I guess Calm Mind could be a problem. Yeah, now I'm very confident he's intentionally trying to use moves. So that's probably, I don't know. I'd say maybe a viewer that's just like, hey, I'm playing Jam, I'm just going to give him the win. Now he's going to Aura Sphere again, I'm fairly sure. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was just somebody trying to give, which it's a little disappointing because I actually wanted to test the team out, but we get a 1709 player, so ideally, man, it's crazy because with Iron Hands, you know, some games I'm like, man, I wish I had the damn Drain Punch. Some games I'm like, we need Thunder Punch, but we're just not getting the matchups that would be conducive to either set. So when we have Drain Punch, we play Hard Stall. When I have Thunder Punch, we play offense with Great Tusk, which obviously doesn't take shit from Earthquake, but Drain Punch would destroy. I might end up just taking Substitute off. I'm just not like it's really a matchup situation because you know I have the infinite amount of opponents I can play and not infinite, but you know, different team combos and whatnot. You need a sample size of like 100 games to get a really good judge of how a team would probably perform. And the 1 or 2 games I'll be doing per live are not representative of the meta games, especially because I'm getting a range from 1900 to 1500. So just understand that as you're using the team yourself. With that said, let me just break it down like a first grader again. So Iron Hands beats potentially 1, 2, potentially. It could technically beat everything except Arbolive or whatever that's called. But it doesn't get any one shots other than Glamora. Glamora's T-Spikes would be annoying, so I need to be mindful of that. Dragapult could beat 1, 2, potentially. Almost everything on his team, potentially, right? It doesn't pick up any one shots either. Gambit could potentially beat almost everything on his team as well. But Gambit's a little more reliable than the other two. Those Rotom protect us against 1, 2, really almost everything except Arbolive. Corviknight, upon Iron Defensing, is mid. It's solid. I guess really it's just Hatterene and the Ceruledge. And if we Terra Water, the Ceruledge can't recover with Bitter Blades, so I suppose that's pretty solid. And assuming we're faster than the Arbolive, then Body Press will blow that shit away. Great Tusk upon clicking Headlong Rush, and CC has no soluciones. So Hatterene's our biggest issue. Literally, like, Hatterene's the only way that we'll have a hard time, which I could Terra Ground here and 2-hit KO this. It wouldn't mean that I couldn't Terra Flying my Gambit later, which could matter. It would mean I couldn't Terra Water Corvi, which could matter. Can't Terra Flying Iron Hands, which could matter as well. And Hatterenes are so damn versatile that you don't know what they're gonna do. I figure Draining Kiss may come out. What we're gonna end up doing is Volt Switch into King's Gambit. If he does Nuzzle or Draining Kiss, I'll take the 20%, potentially 19%. I'm willing to do that, but I went Rotom first so that he'll be baited to Calm Mind. Yeah, 23%. But good Draining Kiss there. As we get to Katao into the worm. Let's see. I don't know much about what's happening right now. Like, part of me, I'd assume the worm comes in. Okay, I just don't know why the worm is there. So that's why I'm like, okay, I it doesn't have Shed Tail any longer. So I'm just going to make the more obvious decisions. Okay, so Hatterene comes in. That doesn't really tell me a lot. It lets me know that at the very least he knows what comes in on Worm typically, so he has a base level of understanding. I don't know if there's any motive behind it because I only know of Draining Kiss, which means he likely has Calm Mind. And I can't tell how much he'd get back. So what I'll do is I'll Hydro Pump into Volt Switch here. I want to see the ratio of Draining Kiss plus Hydro Pump. So 42% Draining Kiss. Yeah, he's not getting enough back in comparison to like the damage he's taking. So let's say he does Draining Kiss again on my Gambit here. He ended up losing 24%. Excellent. So that ended up working because I needed to force that thing out. It's a problem. It's a problem for me. Very tempted to Tusk into Headlong Rush here. But as I said, your boy has almost no data on this opponent. I don't know what the fuck this shit's trying to do to me. I could go Polt and bluff like a Choice Specs. Choice Specs, Draco, Fire move. If he specs himself. Because Corviknight, not having U-turn is what's killing me here. But I need that Brave Bird. I need that young Brave Bird. Okay, so let's think about how we're going to win the game. I think I'll win it with Dragapult. So if we're trying to do that, I'm not going to overextend on any risky play. The least risk would be going to Polt here, and so we don't know what he has. The least risk here is to go to Polt here, substitute. I have leftovers and Grassy Terrain, so I may lose 7% in total for this scout. So Dazzling Gleam, yeah. If he has Dazzling Gleam, he's most likely choiced. Because why would you have Dazzling Gleam? So it might even be Terra Fairy. Interesting. Which is good to know because I could have went to Great Tusk and tried to CC any Terra Fairies. Though him terraing would open up what? So much information to manage, man. I love it. I love it, man. So Glamora comes in, which is odd. Meaning Glamora on my Dragapult is odd. Maybe just first like, okay, well I'm gonna force him out here. So this might have what's it called then? Dazzling Gleam? Power Gem, shit. I mean not Dazzling Gleam. What's that move called? The grass move, Energy Ball. So Dragapult being the wind, like you notice, I've just not been executing these things properly. I wouldn't say that. I did not expect him to attack there. I expected him to Stealth Rock. What I could have done instead was gone to Rotom and Protect, because what I was doing was trying to avoid activating his He might go for Dazzling Gleam here, actually. Yeah. So I just need to scout out what he has, but by getting enough data, getting as much data as I possibly can, because I think my King's Gambit can sweep him. Well, it depends, man. It just depends on what, because the grass thing, I guess, could technically be timid, but as it looks right now, Gambit. Okay, so it allows me to, He took nothing from Volt Switch. He's AV. Okay. There's no way. Because I'm like, bro, there's no way you just took fucking negative damage from that. So, that's interesting. So if that's the case, then we may be staring down Power Gem again here. Okay. So we'll Tusk first. Right, it crits me there, but Tusk is naturally faster, and I've positioned myself to where I can take on. I really don't want to attack into the worm, but the fuck is the worm gonna do to me? You know what I mean? And I don't want him going hard Hatterene, because he may think that I'm defensive Tusk. Though Power Gem crit did nothing. I could see him terroring here. Like, that fucking Volt Switch missed. Unless he's just max special attack. But why would I not... I mean, special defense, but why would I not see an item? So, he's gonna get the T-Spikes up. Unfortunately. The question is, am I willing to give up my Great Tusk to keep the T-Spikes off the field? Because he's gonna try to go Hatterene here. He's not trying to go Hatterene. He's going to go to Hatterene. And if I Rapid Spin, I'd trade. He goes Cerulege. That's interesting. So what do I want to do here? Obviously, I'm faster. You could Terra Bug and go for, but that would commit his Terra. I think I may be looking at this too short-sightedly. Sash. Yeah, Terra Bug. I don't even think he'd knock me out. I wanted to spin there, but he shouldn't be able to knock me out. Yeah, and I get to spin here anyway. Him bulking up is an issue. But as I said, I have Terra. Well, he could taunt me. That's a problem. I do have quite a bit of speed on my Rotom, but taunt is an issue. He bulks up. So I have to give Pult up. See Bitter Blades. I guess Rotom can't Wisp because I'm not a... yeah, I guess I didn't factor that in. Corviknight. So I'll Terra Water Iron Defense here. If he taunts, so be it. Because I have to... I don't want him... Well, what I could do is just Brave Bird repeatedly. Because he'll likely taunt the first turn. This allows Bitter Blade to not do too much damage back. And I caught him before he bulked up. If he didn't bulk up that first turn... Because even if I am Terra... Sure, it helps his Arboliva, but... Corviknight can 1v1 the majority of his team since he already Terra'd on this. And King's Gambit and and Iron Hands, particularly Iron Hands with the Grass Arena. But the problem is that for me, his Dragonite, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close because I don't have any answer for Hatterene. I think Hatterene was top 10 in usage as well. So I'm glad I got to escape with my Tusk Pult. You know, okay. Bitter Blade's doing 15. Okay, I'm doing way too much. This is why we stopped using this filthy ass fucking Scarlet set. Because he crits me on the perfect motherfucking turn, bros. Like, you really cannot make this shit up, man. Bitter Blade's doing 26. If he doesn't crit there, Corviknight's gone. Like, literally. Needed that crit. Or he lost to Corviknight 1v1. Even if he didn't, my Great Tusk would come in and revenge kill him. This is very frustrating stuff sometimes, man. But I guess I have to account for Cerulege, right? So I have to hope I crit him here with Hydra. Man, look at that shit right there, man. Just the non-crit. Because now I can Shadow Sneak. Like, this is such BS, bro. Well, what I'll do is let him kill. I'm not going to give up. I think I need him to be... I think I need the extra kill. I'll Sucker because he's going to attack me here. Pretty confident he takes Sucker Punch. I mean, he could bulk up, but it's too risky. Because you're fairly like, okay, well, if I bulk up and he attacks me, I'm done. Yeah, it doesn't kill. Man. That is a frustrating L, bro. But it is what it is. Had to get the fucking crit when he got the crit. Had to get it that turn. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Find another one. I'm trying to think through that game if there was any moment. Cerulege coming in on Great Tusk. With the T-Spike up, I could not... What could I have done versus the Glamora other than leave Tusk in? Well, I didn't account for how weak I was to bulk up. So I needed to play in a way where he couldn't get a lot of bulk ups. So what I should have actually done was switch Tusk out, even if that meant getting poisoned later. Switch Tusk out into Corviknight to avoid the bulk ups. So, lesson to learn. You know, hacks, yeah, but there was a more optimal play. Because I happen to have the one team that's actually weak to bulk up fucking Cerulege. But a lot of learning to be done in this meta because, like, shit is really wild out here. I feel like back in the beginning of the gen. For y'all who remember that #1 run where we're just like, alright, let's give me all you got. Now the difference obviously in that case was that we were using decently standard teams and we were using them repeatedly. Whereas we're sort of throwing together imperfect teams and trying to learn at the same time. And my skills, I have to say, I like my metagame knowledge would probably be like a 5 out of 10 right now if I had to number it. Because I'm looking at this guy's team and I truly don't know what to do. Rotom's good. I mean, a Mousehole should get walled. I don't see any solid Tusk switching beyond his own Tusk. And his Dragapult is going to be an issue to mine. So what I'll end up doing is playing this very similarly to... Because I don't know what the fuck this Bronzong's finna do. I do want to neutralize potential body press in case he Terras or something. Or if he has Earthquake that can break my Iron Hands sub. Because the Iron Hands, the beauty of it is that if I Terra... Now he has an electric type which isn't ideal and he has a potential... he has not a potential. He has the Dragapult that can go through subs if that specs and like Terra Dragons or something. Terra Dragon Dracos or Will-O-Wisps. You know, there are ways to shut my Iron Hands down. If this is just Stealth Rock, then that gives me a little data on what else he has. Because, like, what the fuck is this shit gonna do? I'm gonna just Hydro Pump here. I really don't know what Bronzong does. What's about to happen? Okay. Yo, Gravity is green now. That's really fucking cool. So if he's Gravity, of what good is that? Ah, I see. Is my Gambit going to give a fuck about its Lumberry? It might versus Pult, but I don't want anything asleep. So bring in your Tusk. Come in with your Tusk, my friend. Come in with your Tusk, my friend. So that's your big strat, huh? I don't see an item, so it's probably banded. It's probably banded Headlong Rush. It pivots back to Pult, which lets me think he was expecting either Rotom or he was expecting my Great Tusk. In either case, I've just realized I don't have any good Pult switching. My Pult switching is Gambit, which is important. Corviknight's very important versus the Mousehold. If this is a special Pult, I'll take one. I'll scout out his moveset. Specs, okay. Yeah, I don't have any guy. Wow, I just realized that. It being spec, but that's what I was talking about with Iron Hands subbing, right? It's not perfect. So we'd be staring down Tusk versus Rotom. Even if he were to leave it in, I don't get why he'd ever go Toxapex on a King's Gambit. Ah, I see. That's why. I'm actually really glad about that, because Rotom is exactly what I want in versus his team. Rotom is that guy. So he's Draco Meteoring, which allows me to... nah, it's not. I wouldn't Terra Steel here. Okay, look at bro go, bro. Look at bro go, bro. Obviously, none of this makes any difference. Oh, okay. I beg to differ. I could... my Rotom's gonna take a beating from this Gravity. Let's stall one out. Okay, Terra Fairy. Okay, so we forced a Terra. This particular set is an issue. So in which case, I'm not gonna waste my time Hydro Pumping. It's gonna hurt. What if I Hydro Pump then Protect? Actually, no. I'm tripping. I could just VS. I won't die. The damage matters, but it'll allow me to go Tusk and one-shot this. If he switches it out, then he doesn't have the speed anymore. So Headlong Rush. What the fuck? I should have expected. Nah, how would I have known that? Well, we learn now. Shit. Oh shit. What the fuck is going on today, boys? Terra Blast. I mean, part of me is like, I could have expected that, but at the same time, I don't know what the fuck to expect from this guy. So it's 3 attacks. Okay. It's looking like a done deal, my friends. It's not, but it's looking like a done deal. Okay. If he Thunderbolts here, kudos. Yeah, okay. At least that worked. Whew! Fucking A. Got this 4% ass motherfucking King's Gambit out here struggling for life. Oh boy. So maybe CC comes out. If he's banded, then it's alright. Which I think he might be. He's not banded. Problem is he has a Dragapult just looming, just waiting to attack. And I don't have a spinner anymore. Yeah, this is looking like a wrap, my friends. If I was spit Def Pult, then, you know, there was hope, but... So he goes back to Zong. I could... Fire defense that forces Pult in, but of what good to me is that, right? Yeah, the Sandy Shock's having Terra Blast Fairy. The ladder is full of surprises right now, man. I really do believe I'm gonna have to just do a super long live where all of the surprises happen, and I just relearn the meta so that the shit doesn't happen again. Cause like we can't be structuring these half trash game plans and then losing the Terror Blast. But as I'm playing this now, I realize I'm way too pult susceptible, especially because mine doesn't even speed tie. So. What I'll end up having to do is I'll knock this out. I won't let him gravity. Why is he faster than me? I was gonna iron defense there, but in truth, it doesn't even matter if I iron defense. Because what's gonna happen is he goes. Actually, this was the reason to iron defense. But it's still neutral. That's how it works, right? It's still neutral. It's not like headlong rush. It is super effective. Oh, it takes away the flying type. So yeah, there was I didn't expect him to be faster than me. How the fuck was he faster than me? That's bronze on. He was oh my, I got thrashed here. I got nothing more to be said. But nah, there's still hope. I'll sack the man. This could be scarfed. This is probably scarfed. It's probably what this is. I didn't think it would be super effective. I thought it made you grounded, but you still kept your typing. That's interesting. So this is not data gravity. Yeah, it still does not. Is that how it's supposed to work? Because it doesn't even say. That's not exactly what it says. It says no ground immunities, but it doesn't say you're weak to it. I guess it works like a roost. I don't know. But if he's choice, then I die. Yeah. Oh, I didn't die, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You got me, bro. I can't win. No, that's not true. If I get a Brave Bird off on your pult, my what's it called might be able to kill you. My Iron Hands might be able to beat the rest of your team. It's unlikely though. Who knows? I mean, I could sub on his fucking. It's actually not over. I don't know why he'd go to his pult and risk a speed tie when he could have just. Okay. When he could have just went to Toxapex. So that tells me a lot about the player I'm playing. EQ likely won't 2 a KO. It's close though, it might. Shadow Ball shouldn't. Please don't fucking get the hacks. Yeah, it's not a 2 a KO. And I needed it to be. If it did with Corviknight's health, it would have mattered. Yeah. So another loss, guys. Well, what did he lose to the first time? Oh yeah, the Cerulege luck. That one, I don't think there was any luck. So this is the type of team why we had Thunder Punch to begin with. And this is not the type of team I wanted to face. But I need to relearn the fucking meta as well, because like this is ridiculous. Please also I need your help. If any of these sets are things you run into, just say, oh yeah, Jam, fucking Terra Fairy, Speed Boost, Andy Shocks is standard, you know, like. But I learned a lot in that game. Particularly the Corviknight interaction. One, I didn't expect to ever be slower. Because, like, the reason you don't Iron Defense there is if he just randomly hypnosises your Corviknight's asleep. And he'd have to be, it'd have to be plus speed Bronzong to outspeed my Corviknight. So it was plus speed. And honestly, even if I Iron Defense, he would have just probably tried to go for fucking hypnosis after that. I mean, it would have been a better position than have the Great Tusk come in, though, so. You know. But yeah, we're gonna try to do some work with this fucking Iron Hands here, man. I'm tired of this bullshit. Bullshit! So, the key to success in this is Pult into Tinglu. I don't know, because I know Tinglu is coming out. Pult into Tinglu, burn it, which will make him unable to break my Hariyama's, what's it called? Because I know he's gonna leave. It's just gonna matter in the you're gonna see. Because it's a subtle little thing, right? He crits me with Earthquake, naturally. Naturally. Problem is he's going to rest here. But it might give me the opening I need. Because my Polt will get all his health back. So that's why I wasn't too concerned about that. I was hoping he wouldn't rest yet. So that when I Swords Dance, I got his ass. But that boy rested. I think these run with Infestation from what I learned last time. I don't have U-turn on this, so he only has one good unaware mod, which is Dondozo. Okay. It may not have Infestation, we'll see. I'll go back to Rotom. Okay, it's T-Spikes. That's not good. In which case, I need to either Terra my... Does it matter if I Terra my Great Rest? Does it matter if I Terra? So I definitely need to get rid of this hazard. Okay, we're gonna have to go all in early. This Whirlpool is what I expected. The Clouds now. Will-O-Wisp here. Will-O-Wisp is always the play. Cloud. I'd assume it's unaware Cloud as well, which is probably why he won't go to it. I don't think Blissey has Toxic any longer, so what we're gonna do is my Iron Hands rocks don't matter. I don't want to be impatient though and have him get openings he's not supposed to have. So him protecting also helps me with, because now I get to go Iron Hands. What was his rocker? Spikes. He keeps going Mola. Let's spin one more turn. Let him go Mola first. The poison does matter, but yeah, let him go Mola one more time. Yeah, and then I VS on his Clodsire, on his Blissey, and get Iron Hands in here. And I Swords Dance turn 1. I sub here. Now he's like, shit. I guess this is gonna Terra. Who's going Terra? Is he gonna Terra into something that, say Terra into something that I can't beat with my King's Gambit? Because I knew he was gonna Terra, I just didn't know into what. So this is a bind a little bit. Because I let my fucking thing get poisoned. This is a bind. There are a couple ways to go about this. I could technically try to late game King's Gambit. Just SD and with the Fallen, just boom, 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 and Katow him. But because well, I could flinch. I guess flinch is an option, right? I could flinch into that. Terra fighting isn't ideal. Could have tried to force him to Terra into something else earlier. Body press, interesting. He may body press, I doubt it. He's probably gonna rest or liquidation, yeah. So okay. Clodsire like would try to come in, yeah. So Rapid Spin, since we forced the Terra, even if he were to go for the recover, it's not that important. I'm very surprised he did, but again, it's not that important as long as we get rid of the T-Spikes. So now we get to Polt on his Mola, which is blessed. As Tinglu comes in. This is gonna take a long time since I allowed my Tusk to get poisoned. I did not expect. Well, I guess I should have expected some kind of Terra on the Dondozo. So this set doesn't even solve the Dondozo issue. doesn't even solve the Dondozo problem that we were experiencing. So we're gonna darts first. He stayed into Whirlpool. If I sub there, I had him. Oh my god, I can't believe I let him Whirlpool me. My thing there was like, well, if I sub, but even then, I mean, the Tinglu. The reason I didn't sub is because I expected Tinglu to come in. I don't regret the Dragon Darts play. I think it was a very bad play going for Whirlpool because you'd lose. But I suppose he's like, well, I'll just take all the damage. I'll take all the damage on what's it called? So Apex is, yeah. I'll probably have to very bad toxic there. I'm trying not to let his Tinglu wake up, but I'd have to sack my entire team for Gambit to even do any real damage right now. So I'll do is poke back to get the lefties. I have not shown sub, but there's the Tinglu that I was expecting earlier. I have to get enough damage to where I can sub again. See, Earthquakes. He has to rest here. If he EQs again, so be it. He does. That was a really risky EQ. If I switch and you leave the Tinglu low, you can't deal with me later. The pult was a big issue. But I had to make that risk there. Because if he does rest, we're back at square one. Now, Tinglu being weakened does matter because he can't. So actually, this Clodsire has spikes too. So it's not over yet. Because obviously the fallen one does help. Because the Dondozo is rested. So every time he goes to Dozo on the rocks, he can't just do whatever he wants. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I'm preserving the Terra. So it goes Mola for some fucking reason. It's not for somebody. Like, I know why he went Mola, because he's trying to Whirlpool. But I have to SD straight up. I can't have Mola coming in as ISD. So Hydro, since he keeps going Clodsire, like, you don't think I know you're unaware. Get the fuck out of my sight. Hit another one, Rotom, because you know he ain't switching. And so this allows for us to go back to... And this is where I fucked up letting my Great Tusk get poisoned, because Terra Ground Great Tusk was a motherfucking menace on these streets, you know what I'm saying? So we get to SD, cause he keeps going to these fucking lame options as if they're counters to me. Like, I'm a Gambit, bruh. I'm a Gambit, bruh. So Dozo should come in now. Yeah, I'm trying to hit the Dozo and force him to not burn any sleep turns. So it took 23. If I were to Iron Head again, because I have to be careful not to have him get rocks up while my Gambit's a flying type. So if I Iron Head again and he gets body press, I die. But if I get rid of the Dozo, my Iron Hands bodies him. He's Avalanche. So he doesn't even have a water move. And Avalanche is actually bad for my Terraflying Gambit. Man, you can't bake this shit up, bro. And my Terraflying Iron Hands. Like, that's crazy. So Evolve Switch here. Clodsire can come in. I was tempted to Hydro, but I'm very tempted to go for... but he has to go for the healing move on the Blissey. So I was like, alright, let him do his thing. We'll go back to Gambit. We're going to hit his fucking Dozo once more. Because I have to be very, very careful around this thing. Because what I'm banking on, my Iron Head is going to be a lot stronger the next time, right? Shit, his body press did way more to me than I expected. So now he's going to Blissey every time because it just doesn't make sense to go to... So right here... I'll give Tusk up for the Fallen 2. Because he's going to go Alomomola, obviously. For the Fallen 2's Iron Head. He could... He's going to wish... He's going to try to wish to his Clodsire. That's fine. I'll just Hydro Pump you. Get your Blissey in. He really went Cloudsire as if I'm some dumbass. Like, bro, you really thought like I was just gonna let you? I guess he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna just bank on the miss. So he gets the rock shot, but since he has avalanche, like it's not even that deep for me anymore. So I get the fallen 2. If he decides to go to the Dondozo now, he might get 2 KO'd. He goes Molo, which is what I figured would happen. But my pivot to Rotom is best for both Doza, and if he goes to Whirlwind, he pivots to Pex, which I didn't expect. What an annoying team. The problem is Dozo can just rest. There's nothing I can do. Yeah, I figured you couldn't go Dozo hard there. I want to Iron Head badly here. Well, even if you stay into Whirlpool, you have to switch the next turn, yes. Please, Fallen. Oh, it's close. It is close. He's going to wake up this turn, but if I flinch him, this game's over. I actually don't even need to flinch. I don't need the Terra. Because if I flinch, Iron Hand beat. Flinch. Oh, crit. Good game, bruh. Good game, bruh. Good game, bruh. Man, Gambit, eat him. Eat him. It doesn't matter anymore. One, because he has to switch. And that's what's stalling. I mean, that's what's driving the Whirlpool. But even if that didn't happen, my Iron Hands beat it. But yeah, that was a very rushed early game because I thought Iron Hands would wash this team. And then he Terras. I got to be mindful of these Terras, man. I learned Terra, the Quagsire was Terra Fire from the last time we faced with this team. But at the very least, the Thunder Punch payoff. So that's what I was discussing in the earlier parts, right? It's like, okay, the matchup, depending on what I'm getting, the Thunder Punch is way better versus these builds. And the Drain Punch is way better. Because like Drain Punch, if I run Ice Punch and Thunder Punch, it would give these kinds of builds problems too. I don't remember, why did I not earn that? There's something. Well, obviously the Quagsire, if it was Terra Fired, would give me a hard time. But, you know, there may be a case for Ice Punch. There was a reason. There was something Earthquake was there for in particular. I don't recall. But I suppose... You know, actually, Ice Punch isn't so bad. Bolt Beam is a little weaker. But, you know, Bolt Beam isn't so... I don't know why I didn't consider that. I did, but there was a reason I went for Earthquake. I just can't remember what it is right now. But there was a very particular reason. But if you think about even the past 2 games, if I had Ice Punch on the Dragapult, I'd 2-hit KO that bad boy. It would still function. Maybe there's something on those stall teams that I'm not considering. Ice Punch with 2-hit KO, Cloudsire. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna end it here. The team, you know, we went through it today. 2 wins, 2 avoidable losses. Obviously, Cerulege game was gonna be a wash, and there was another game, the Terra Blast. Man, bro, really rocked my shit with the gravity, and that was even a close one. So. A lot of learning lessons. Hopefully you guys learned a lot as we continue to go sky high. Hit the like button down below if you're enjoying, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.